Hi there. Hi there. It's the disclaimer first, always. This is for research and educational purpose only and not financial advice. So if you need financial advice, always seek it from a licensed personnel from your jurisdiction. Let's begin. Last time we talked about Bitcoin pretty much at a range where it's seeking its true top for this round, and in the past couple of days, or in the actually last week or so, we see it's within this pink trading zone. So the reason I use trading zone is when people usually talk about trading range, it's more like horizontal only, like within a certain price range, but I use trading zone to differentiate this so you can understand what I'm talking about, because the trading zone can go upwards and downwards as well. So it's basically similar. It's going to bounce within two prices, but at an uptrend or downtrend or horizontal trend. And right now, for today, there's still 4.5 hours left. Its price is struggling to maintain within this trading zone. Let's see whether it can defend the price and return to within the box here. So this is the daily chart. We can see the daily volume, the trading volume, it's more or less similar to the previous 2 days. So it's probably not a good news for the bullish people, but it's not definite yet. Let's take a look at the weekly view and see what Wyckoff tells us. So last time I talked about two scenarios that I see. One is the blue tags, where we already passed the buying climax and we're at a crazy upthrust. A reason to this could be a lot of ETF access that's flushing in a lot of capital that wasn't around 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago. And then the other scenario is the yellow tags, the preliminary supply and the buying climax. So we're at the buying climax now. That's scenario 2. But I'm more inclined to think it's the blue scenario that we are at now. So let me explain and give you a few reasons. So when we look at the cycle before in 2021, 2022, when this happened, so this is the buying climax back then, and on the left side here, and then on the right hand side here it's our current buying climax. And when we look at the upthrust in particular, so you can see from here, let me draw these three long green candles compared to these three we have now. See, the pattern kind of repeats itself. And then the next is this little pause here. So people would say, oh yeah, right, people are taking profit because it's getting close to the 100,000 mark, and that makes absolute sense. A lot of people trade, they look at key positions, and these like 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, obviously a key position. So a lot of people will front run and like sell whatever they have before it reaches that critical point. And other thing is, if you know Fibonacci in the technical analysis, if we look at this buying climax roughly around here, so from there to where we are now, or yeah, that's 108,000. It's about 46-47%, very close to the 50% in like a key percentage in the Fibonacci analysis. So obviously here is another key position with a high possibility a lot of players are going to release their positions. So that's why we've got a big drop once it hit this point. So that's Fibonacci analysis. That's clue number 2. And then the third, we see after this small little red candle on both sides, we have a small period of rise as well. So similarly, this round very close. And another similarity is the volume. So we see here, the volume is comparatively lower than what we had in the buying climax. So last round, the buying climax, we see these large candlesticks, volume bars, and here we've got much smaller volume bars at like the upthrust. You see the difference here. And this time round, last few weeks we have higher volume bars, but it's declining right now. So we have to be careful with this, whether this is going to continue. Because like I said before, the long-term playground zone is here. It's very far away. Well, if Bitcoin comes down back to 40,000, that's roughly getting back to the zone if it's really getting back by early or mid next year. So why I say early mid next year? It may not happen exactly in the same timeline, but let's take a reference from last time. So last time the price broke out here, and then by the time it returns to the zone, that's roughly 539 days. So from December 2020 to June 2020 to 2.5 years roughly. And then let's look at this cycle. From here, 500, let's say 39 days. That's roughly mid-April next year. So first, be somewhere between first quarter to second quarter. Whether it will have such a dramatic drop, you see this would be a much steeper drop compared to this. So this, from the peak of the upthrust to where it re-enters the long-term zone, took 210 days. Now we had the peak this week, and then 210 days, if we have this similar kind of more or less gradual drop, it will be mid-July last year. So somewhere between mid-April to mid-July. It's if the Wyckoff cycle is going to repeat itself, we would probably see such a drop. But the scary part is we don't see any, let me take out the two drawings. So we don't see any significant price rise since that point. So we've got this coming all the way down to here, and then a little bit retesting the last supply, and then it goes back down to the zone. So this time around, whether it will repeat itself completely, we'll have to wait and see. But so far, that's what I'm seeing right now. So stick to your practice, set your stop loss, and as long as it's at the bottom or it's even going beyond the trading zone, if you was like putting short positions, or even if you're trying to long to hoping it return to the zone, absolutely follow your practice. Be logical and don't be emotional. That's where we can win in the long run. So that's all for Bitcoin this time. See you in the next video.